Hey guys, it's Frozen Gem, and today is a pretty long video. I did not expect this video to be this long, but before all the editing, it was 43 minutes long of me working on this 9-second animation, so I'd say 14 minutes is pretty good. Now, I just gotta say that I'm pretty proud of this animation. I think it's my best one yet, and I guess I could sit here and talk to you guys and point out all of the flaws in this animation and say, hey, there's a mistake here and here and here, but I am not going to do that because I really want you guys to learn that your animation and your artwork is amazing, and even though there are some flaws, the finished piece is what you should be proud of, and take those flaws into account into improving next time. So I'm looking at all of this, and I guess the one thing I'll say is that I know you guys don't see it yet because we're not that far into the video, but the head. I'm not very proud of the way her head moves during the turnaround, but that is just something that I will have to improve on in the future. Maybe the next time I do a turnaround. As you see right now, I am literally just doing a sketch. I am sketching all of this out. At the beginning of this, I started from scratch, did not know exactly what I was going to do. And I looked at this and I was like, oh, what do I do now? My first edit of this piece was like, it was not very good. It did not have much movement. It was very choppy, and that is what I planned for the finished piece to look like. Right here you see me editing this piece with her arm and her ears, and beforehand I never planned on moving her arms or ears, so I really thank everybody on Instagram who helped me out with that, because I asked for critiques back when I first sketched this out, and a lot of people were like, oh, you should add some movement to the head and movement to the ears, and I just want to say thank you guys so much, because I think without y'all this would have been a lot choppier than it is. I think I really wanted to improve on frame by frame as much, so I tried very hard not to duplicate anything. I think I only duplicated like 4 or 5 frames, but the rest is all individually drawn. Well, I mean, like, of course her body is duplicated, so I'm not gonna lie there. A good trick for that is you draw 2 different frames and then put them each on different sides. Like, the first frame can be 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on, and then the next frame can be 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Then it'll look like the illusion of having your art created frame by frame. So yeah, I also do that with run cycles and flight cycles. So that's good. So there's a little tip for y'all. Right here I am doing the lip sync. I'm keeping her in motion with her zoomed up face, and yeah, I think my biggest struggle on this scene in particular was actually the arm. Her stepping up, I did not really like that. I looked at her stepping up and I was like, ooh, that is not good, even though it's only a few frames, still. But in the end result, I was actually pretty proud of it, so. The eyes were really fun to do. I just gotta say, BluJae, I love your design so much. I love this so much that for my Mother's Day speed paint, I heavily was inspired by BluJae to have the floating beard things on it, so I was very grateful for that, and BluJae, you're just so sweet to let me do that. And yeah, it was actually very wonderful. This entire animation has been a complete learning experience for me. I had never done a turnabout before, so this whole thing about I think there were like 26 frames to turn her, but don't count me wrong on that. It was between 23 and 26, so let's just say 24. With all these 24 frames of her just turning, it was kind of a pain. I started this animation about a month ago, I guess almost 2 months ago. Yeah, I lost a lot of motivation during this. I started on the 4th section, and I went from the 4th to the 1st to the 2nd to the 3rd section. And the 3rd section is this turnabout right here. I did this one last because I knew it would take the longest to do, and I knew that I would lose a lot of motivation during that time frame. I lost motivation so many times during this project. I am actually surprised that it turned out the way it did, and I'm surprised that I was able to push through. I really want to thank you guys so much for sticking around, because I think without y'all, I wouldn't have completed it. Really, when I animate, the only motivation I have is y'all, because y'all are just so sweet, and I love reading all of your comments. And you're just so sweet and motivational. I love you guys so much, and oh my gosh. I read all the comments, guys. Well, I try to at least. I read as many as I can, and the ones I do, they're just heartwarming. They make my heart soar out of my chest, because I love you guys so much, and y'all, oh my gosh, y'all are so sweet. After I posted the first whip, or not the first whip, my last whip that I had posted, this part was almost done. I was done with most of it except for the shading for the turnaround. And all of y'all were so sweet. When I was reading the comments, y'all were all like, whoa, this is a whip? I don't see anything. There were so many things that I could just see. It wasn't just the shading. I had messed up the wings. I had messed up the shadow. In the end product, she did not have a shadow in the back because BluJae specifically asked for no shadow. And yeah, I'm actually glad that there was no shadow because, hey, that's better for me. No shadowing animations. Wait, you guys know what I mean. In an animation, I'd say that my favorite part is sketching, just because, like, you can literally go crazy in sketching, guys. Like, it's amazing. Sketching it's where it's at, guys. But it all goes down once line art happens. I lost so much motivation during this turnabout in line art. This turnabout took 16 hours to do. It was very, 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 very hard. But you know, I'm actually kind of happy about it, except for the face. It looks a little squared. But other than that, wow. Didn't think I could do it. I'd say my least favorite part in animations are the line art. As I said before, man, I lost so much motivation. And so line art is very, 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 very time consuming. And it's like not that fun in my opinion. But after the line art, bro, coloring is so amazing. Because you're seeing your project come to life in coloring. Because after the line art's done, you're adding color, you're adding depth to it, and it's just, you're watching this picture come alive and move and have so many colors to it. It's really incredible. This animation, I had not planned to do shading. I was just gonna leave it at that. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna go so overboard in doing this. I planned to finish it after I was done with line art and coloring. But after I had posted my meme of Break My Stride, I had simple cell shaded that, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna do that because why not? So yeah, that's exactly what I did. I didn't just shade, I also lighted as well, and that was very difficult for me to do. But I'm actually kind of happy about it. Shading is not also my favorite thing to do because I just lose so much motivation during shading. As you can see here, I was doing a lot of cell shading beforehand. My style consists of cell shading and a part of the brush tool shading, just to add more depth to it. I really like the precise lines on cell shading, but I also like the kind of realism on the brush shading, so that's why I do both, because my style is kind of a mixture between the two. Yeah, I kind of like seeing it. I think it's a lot more clean. And guys, I don't just slap on one layer of of soft brush shading. Like, I move it as overlays, I change its multiply, I do so many things to it. It's very difficult, but you know, I think it's worth it. Don't use Gaussian blur when you shade, just don't. I would use a touch-up tool, really. Yeah. As you guys can see now, I am messing with Lipsync. Gotta tell you, Lipsync is my favorite thing to do when animating. Lipsync is just so easy, and it's also really, really satisfying to do. You look at it and you're like, wow, that is so on time. I cannot believe I did that, you know? As long as you have the right tools to do it, it's a lot easier. I have to tell you guys, I lip sync on Procreate in this piece, and it was a pain to do. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry for like screaming in your mic. But it was literally a pain, guys. Like, I don't know if you've ever animated in Procreate before, but there's literally nothing that you can do in adding audio wise. So I would sit there as I lip synced and I would play it and I would sing it myself. I would sit there and I'd go, want you more, somehow I just want you more, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really tiring. it was I had to lip sync it myself, and then after I lip synced it myself, obviously I was not entirely in sync with the actual audio, so I'd have to pull out my phone, play it at the right time on Procreate too, and get that in sync. That was not very fun to do for me. But after I had done it and synced it all up with my sketches, it was easy from that. As you guys can see here, like I mentioned before and earlier in the video, I copy and pasted her head. Her head is 2 different drawings, but I just did, like I said, 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. And it really creates the illusion of drawing every single frame when you don't really draw every single frame. But I did draw every single lip sync frame, which is why that was a little bit of a pain, but you know, I loved lip syncing, so it wasn't that bad. This whole experience for me, it's been really fun. I have to say, my favorite thing, I was very detailed on her beard. I know it's very weird to say, but I think I'm more proud of her beard than anything else, because the way she moves and the way it moves with her, I'm just like, great. Although I do like the turnabout. That's my absolute favorite thing, even though there are flaws in it. I'm more proud of that. Right here, I animated her neck. It was all different. There were no copy and pasting there, except for her glowy scales on her neck. I copied and pasted a couple of those, but they were very good. Yeah, very difficult to do, but yeah. I forgot to do some of her scales, so I had to go back and do that. I think the reason why this thing took so long is because I forgot a lot of things, or I shaded on the wrong layer. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to me talk for 14 minutes straight. If you made it this far into the video, I absolutely did no script. I love you guys so much, and bye! So this is the progress on the entire map part. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see it with the audio, then check in the first link in the description. It'll be there. It is on my second channel. Make sure to go subscribe to that. Love you guys!